Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
So you said that you're hard on black women or women in general?
I'm hard on any woman today that spends $300 on hair and not buying the textbooks that their children needs to better their education, that follow them in life when her or their father or grandparents are going on. I'm hard. Because see, Fred, let me tell you something. I believe, coming out the streets, the Koreans selling more hair than Negroes in the streets selling dope, which is bad, the dope game. But what I will say, okay, say now, I'm gonna use my nieces because they wear that fake hair. Now, my niece, Shay Shay, Sha, she has a 26-year-old daughter. Now, you got a child. You buy their hair piece for $300, having put in. When your child don't have proper books or proper book bags, do that make sense? It
No.
don't make sense. I'm saying, straighten your hair, do like them old ladies did in the South, get your curling iron, wherever it may be, then buy a piece of hair when you can put that money in a college fund for your children so they don't have to really buy or get a college loan, a student loan. You can help towards that. See, I'm like Muhammad Mustafa, 2%. If you're doing something, it's going to come back in the long run. Okay, I got a daughter, babe. She works, but don't understand the difference of college. She said, listen, now, take my father, 90-something years, 90, it'll be 99 his birthday. Pray now. He's a guy that called, that you said really pro-black. If any of the great-grands or grandkids want his help, they have to go to a predominantly black college. He's not going to give one of my little cousins, one of my nieces, no money to go to Notre Dame or go to Temple or go to University of South Carolina or Harvard. He's not doing that. Anybody that my father helps got to go to Howard, Spelman, Morehouse, Savannah State, South Carolina State, Benedict. I, I understand the time changes, but my father never changed with the times. He's pro-black, plumbing porter, worked on the palms. He never. I asked him the other day. I said, "Pops." He said, "First of all, I work hard for 80 years. I'm not giving my money to no other school but a black school." Do you think he's wrong? Do you think he's wrong for that?
Um, a man, he earned the money, so he has the right to do what he wants. Is he short sighted? Yeah, because those HBCUs don't have endowments, and when you don't have endowments, guess what? You got to lean on federal funding. So if black people are not donating to their black colleges, Guess who really owns the school? The same people that you say you're fighting. So the reality is that's just common sense. There's these black colleges have no endowment, so they're not self-sufficient. That's why Harvard is like, shit. Okay, Trump, shit, we got $4 billion in endowments. Fuck you, you know. Um, do what you want. We gonna fight you. But there's not many schools in America that can do that. There's not many
So,
HBCUs that can do that. Excuse me.
so you saying Harvard can afford to fight Trump?
Yeah, because they have an endowment. Mhm.
What the hell is an endowment, friend?
An
What that is?
endowment is basically a savings for the college. So you got alumni who donate tuitions, product, sports, and etc. It builds a resource, a financial resource for the school. So it's basically like their savings account.
So you saying that Harvard don't need Trump?
I mean, Harvard don't need federal funding. It's not Trump. It's the federal funding. They can
What
fund. They can survive. I mean, how many presidents came from Harvard?
about Princeton?
So
What
um,
about Princeton?
Princeton is similar. Princeton is similar, but I mean, moreover, Harvard is the first school, right? Harvard is the first college in the history of America, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think now Fred, Michelle Obama, she went she went to Princeton, right?
Oh gosh.
I think she went to Princeton,
Hmm.
and she went to Harvard Law School.
Harvard Law. They met at Harvard Law. Yes.
So so now,
Yeah, because Obama went from Occidental, Columbia to Harvard Law, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Fred, what law school did Nixon went to?
Whittier Law, if I'm not
He went,
mistaken.
he went to school you went to?
Yeah, I went to Whittier College, just like me.
So I didn't know that they had a law school.
Yeah, it's only three presidents west of the Mississippi. Your favorite, LBJ. Um,
Oh, you call LBJ my favorite.
he's one of the three. Obama, and well, I'm not sure if Harvard takes him, but he went to Occidental College first. And so I think it's four. I forget the fourth one, but it's
Johnson wasn't Fred Johnson wasn't a lawyer, was he? Somebody asked me that the other day, was Johnson a lawyer? I don't know.
don't quote me
I
on
know
that. I would
Nixon
have
was.
to I would have to do
I
I
know
don't
I know Nixon was a lawyer,
hmm Yeah, because
and Gerald Ford.
his law office was on Philadelphia and shit in Greenleaf. That was his law office. Is on in Whittier, on Philadelphia and Greenleaf.
In L.A.
In Whittier, in the city of Whittier. His building is still there where he had his office and where he had his campaign office at. Yeah, still there.
So Fred, you tell me this man when he won, his office was his campaign headquarters.
It's here. Yeah. Yeah, it's 3 blocks from the college.
I knew his when he ran for vice president under Eisenhower. I knew his office was there. I knew his office was there campaign when you won the presidency.
hmm It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I
Nixon
mean, no,
was
no, it's not a big deal. He's been kind of blackballed. He's been kind of admonished from history books, but you know,
Fred, Nixon was smart.
all of them are smart. Shit.
But listen, now Fred,
They said
I
Harding was the
mean,
dumbest president, so I don't know.
why you say Harding was the dumbest
That's
president?
what his history says. I don't know if it's. I
Fred, I want to say the dumbest, but on paper,
was
the
Bush
smartest. I
Jr.
want to say Truman. Truman.
Oh, the Truman Show.
Truman. Truman just had the connection. Pretty smile, like Jack Kennedy, but he wasn't smart as Jack Kennedy. Jack and all them guys was lawyers.
Mhm.
Even if he never got to the White House, they had a license to steal, him and Bobby. I think Bobby would have been a better president than his brother.
Well, he would have been next in line for sure. Um, it's he had the media of appeal. JFK, young. He
And
he put the Hollywood in the White House. He was one of the first presidents of the modern era to make the presidency like cool.
now,
He put the red carpet in the White House. I think that sounds better.
Joe Kennedy, the father, bootlegger,
Yep.
did business with the underworld,
Out of Massachusetts, right?
was a smart guy.
Yeah.
They was from Dublin. Now, Teddy didn't have what it takes.
Ted.
He didn't have what it takes.
Yeah.
Great senator,
Yeah.
senator over 40 years. But what hurt Ted was that Chappaqua case. That's what hurt Ted. Pops couldn't fix it.
Mhm.
Now we going to Robert Aram. Do you know how close Robert Aram is to that family?
Very close
Even to this day,
to this day.
Aram can get a paper.
Well, I mean, he worked for him out of the New York office.
Huh?
He worked for them out of the New York office.
Yes, he did. Now, I seen when we was in New York, when I was over there in the office with Butch Lewis, I seen Teddy come to the office to talk to Bob. I seen my own eye.
What
Now,
year? What year?
this was in Jesus Christ. This was in the 70s. I want to say this was when me and Butch was over there. This was right before the 76 Olympics, right before we signed Leon and Michael.
Mhm.
See, what we did, when you remember when you might have read about it, Fred. You remember when they found Teddy's son died of an overdose uptown?
Yeah, I know of the story.
Yeah.
I haven't done
He,
much research on it, but I know of the story.
he reached out for Bob because Bob was in New York at that time.
Right.
Talking to him in Vegas. He reached out to Bob because he knew Bob knew everybody. And I know for a fact he reached out to Bob. And to this day, Carolina, John's daughter, Bob can get to all of them.
Mhm.
That's the relationship he had with Bobby. All Bobby's children, even the one, didn't one of Bobby's children turn Republican? What job he got for Trump? Robert Jr.
USDA. So he's basically over food.
So he's a Republican now, right?
No, he's independent.
Why you think Trump gave him that job?
No, it's all about connections. Obviously, I don't know what ties them two together, but
But we know now Trump, a lot of Trump people had, a lot of them didn't get confirmed, a lot of them got confirmed. But we knew that Bobby Kennedy son was going to get confirmed. Trump knew that because of the name.
right.
Now, this girl he got in charge of ICE, she's a damn fool.
No,
She's a fool.
it's Holman. Holman's in charge of Homeland Security. Holman, the man.
What's this girl name?
Oh, you talking about the press secretary?
No, not that fool. She's an idiot. And why he picked J.D. Vance, I don't know.
You don't like JD Vance?
He's an idiot.
Man, he's not an idiot. He's well, the vice president, all he got to do is smile and know how to speak. That's it. The vice president is he's basically the community he's basically the community arm of the president. I mean, they're supposed to, you know, it's he's the co-pilot. He ain't got to do nothing. I mean,
Listen,
yes, he got to do something obviously, but
Fred, he don't have the power that Johnson and Nixon had when they was vice presidents.
yeah, they got
You
Ohio.
know,
His job was to get Ohio,
and
which is a swing state.
Fred, but when those guys was the vice president, they had plenty of power. Nixon, Johnson, Ford, and what Nixon guy named Fred? The guy that was with Nixon went to jail, the vice president,
Oh gosh, damn.
Spiro Agnew. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go. Gonna retire. Got to get them kids ready tomorrow. But what I will say, Fred, before we close out, I think Nixon was the shrewdest president of all. Nixon was slick, greasy than a Louisiana pork chop. What you think?
Um, one would say he was almost naive too, and this is just my reading, Uh, like I don't understand. How can I word this? Like I wouldn't even say naive. Let me omit that. I think he thought the power of the presidency will trump anything, no pun intended, but will override anything. So I don't think it was naiveness. I think it was just an abuse of power, you know. Uh, and two, not um, oh man, like not controlling your cabinet either, like because you're responsible for your cabinet. So,
No, Fred, that was the worst pick. When Spiro Agnew went to jail,
mhm,
the Congress made Gerald Ford the vice president,
right,
and then when Nixon resigned, Ford became the president.
right,
But Ford couldn't win, couldn't beat Jimmy Carter.
right.
Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer, very popular. He was very smart.
Hmm.
Jimmy Carter. All right, man. We'll talk again in a week.
All right. So, what do you want me to do with the? Let me take this off.